Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 video. Today we are back on the Great Western Express remastered route, checking out the GWR HST Farewell Pack by Grump Dog Games. This is my first look at the pack, and while it may be just a glorified livery pack, I do believe that this is probably the best livery pack we've ever had in the game, and I will, I'll explain when we get moving. Today we're at Paddington and taking a rare slow line semi-express stopper service down to Reading. Should take about 50 minutes, and you're probably wondering why I'm doing these point-to-point videos again instead of making TSW reviews like I said I was going to. Well, that idea fell through rather spectacularly when my perfectionist brain tried to, I just wanted to, sorry, I can't English at the moment. It was just way too much effort and time and sanity for what I was trying to achieve, and it was just too taxing on my sanity. Anyway, Paddington, we've got HST number 43002 Sir Kenneth Grange, and the gorgeous old British Rail Intercity 125 livery with 3D nameplates, which you don't really see in depth of field is already full. Don't really see in livery packs too often. Not many developers have done 3D nameplates, and I must say they are very well done. There's also a number of other members of the pack, which I'll talk about once I get driving, but anyway, I've waffled on long enough. Let's get moving. Right, so master key, neutral reverser, unlock the doors, brakes to initial, GSMR's testing, that's day headlights, some instrument lights, safeties, there we go. So yeah, our service today is 1 Romeo 02 Paddington to Reading, stopping at Paddington, Slough, Maidenhead, Twyford and Reading. And we're not going on the fast line today, which is makes this a very rare service. Let's actually have a look and see if there are any more special liveries around. There's a D-Stock. By the way, I should mention I have all timetable layers active, bar the GWR Class 387, which is a thing and is coming and isn't out yet, and also the mild May line. Other than that, I have all timetable layers, and I also have a bunch of mods that you can find linked down in the description. Any special... Ooh! This is the new vinyl GWR plate. Other than that, it's just a normal HST. Yeah. The normal GWR one is metal plates, the one that comes with the route, like this one. That's metal plates. Any special liveries? No. Seems as though RNG has affected us today. Yeah, I'll pull up a full list of the liveries once we it's almost time for us to go. Yeah, we will be limited to 90 miles an hour today. Well, because yeah, unfortunately yeah, we'll be going on the slow line, not fast line. Yeah, this is pretty rare service. Not many HSTs go on the slow line and have as many stops as this. Most of them are direct end-to-end runs.
This is a Great Western Railway service to Reading.
Nice. Yeah. Also, if you're looking at the D-Stock, the Class 484 masquerading as a London Underground D-Stock, that's actually going to be implemented as short drivable services on the mild May line as part of the Richmond extension, which is pretty cool. Hopefully Johannes can finally bring the route up to a decent standard, because, well, the route is in a has been in quite a shambolic state ever since its release, with a number of unsolved bugs. But he's not only doing the Richmond, Johannes of incredible trains is not only doing the Richmond extension, he's also bringing the route up to TSW6 standards. He's also doing other things as well, like but major bug fixes, things like that. So right, the GWR HST pack. My one major criticism, and this is not Liam of Grump Dogs' fault. Oh no, this is Dovetail's fault, and I will be calling them out on this. Ooh, you could just hear the whistle of the D-Stock, the AI whistle board. That's pretty cool. Oh, crumbs. Unfortunately, the GWR HST pack is priced at £13, 16 euros or 17 US dollars, which is an absolute rip-off. It's downright, as someone else say, it is downright robbery that we're being charged this much for just a livery pack and a few scenarios. No matter how good the livery pack is, like, it costs more than a standard locomotive add-on. Like the Alan Thompson class, the Alan Thompson class 90 was a downright bargain compared with this. Yeah, as bad as the class 90 by Alan Thompson is, I would argue it does present more value for money than this pack does, which is a pretty damning indictment of how much this costs. And I'm not going to let Dovetail off the hook. I'm not going to let... I'm not... Oh, crumbs, I can't pay attention to my speed. Anyway. And I'm not going to let Dovetail off the hook for this one. Oh, no. I'm going to be calling them out on their BS for this pack. I'm just keeping an eye out for all the special liveries now. Was that a 7-car HST? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... No. There are 4 services in the timetable which have 7 cars, but yeah, not many. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen them. Up to 80 and then 85 as we approach the Old Oak Common Over Bridge. I will just say, the Great Western Express also received a number of bug fixes, which we'll be getting onto later. And so you get in the pack the HST designs that you get: 43002 Sir Kenneth Grange in Intercity 125 blue and yellow with nameplate, 43093 Old Oak Common in GWR green with vinyl and nameplate, 43185 Great Western in Intercity Swallow livery with nameplate, 43187 and 43188 Welshman in GWR green with white dragon vinyls. Yeah, there's Old Oak Common over there. 43188 Welshman in GWR green with the yellow dragon vinyl, which is technically in the future because it didn't receive delivery until 2018, but and this timetable is set in 2017, but honestly I couldn't care any less because it's still a good looking livery and I'm glad it's been included. GWR class 43 power cars with vinyl GWR logos like we saw earlier. Okay, shut down the power because we are approaching an 80 limit. As we approach Acton Main Line, there's the freight line coming in off of the Mild May line. Yeah. And then there's Class 43 power cars at GWR green with no branding, presumably for layers on other routes as they were leased to other ones. So finally, I do believe we have an HST that it would finally make sense to see it on Edinburgh Glasgow in the Sprinter Express timetable because it's unbranded. It is in just GWR green. I believe that was prototypical. And then in addition to the liveries, you get the Mark 1 HST barrier coach, which is technically new to the game, but is a redone version of the Mark 1 BG coach. But yeah, it acts now as an HST barrier coach with there's the district line coming over. Yeah, for some like stop runs. I don't believe any are on barrier coach moves are on GWE. I believe there's a couple on Riviera, but not many. But there is one service of the Class 08 where you can actually shunt HSTs with the Gronk, which is pretty cool. There's Central District lines and a Heathrow Connect 350. There is someone working on a Heathrow Connect Class 360, which is pretty cool. But as a layer for this route, as a mod, which is pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that as a gameplay pack, if I'm being brutally honest. Uh-oh. Double yellow. Slow down to 80. Let's get some brakes on. Coming up on West Ealing here. Yeah. In this time period, West Ealing doesn't have the Bay platform like it does today, so all the Greenford services go through to Paddington instead of terminating at the Bay platform like they do nowadays. Here's the West Ealing Bridge, which all the trains sound the horn for. So I'll do my part with the horn. Alright, let's just let's keep the train brake on initial because I don't trust this signal. Just before Hanwell, it seems. Wonder if we have a service ahead of us. That'd be annoying. Let's go full service on those brakes. Let's have a look at the... Oh, hello. Paddington to Heathrow Airport. Okay, it's the Heathrow Connect service in front of us. Oh, now I have to wait for the brakes to discharge. Ugh! That's annoying. Should have put the DRA on, but I forgot to. Whoops. I have a... Yeah, 43... Sorry about that. I was going to say... Oh. Hang on. There we go. The 43002 to Kenneth Grange. I've seen her in real life as she is preserved at the National Railway Museum. I saw her last year in July 2025. And to finally... And she's my favourite... Well, he is my favourite diesel locomotive in the entire world. Like, genuinely. I love this livery, and the fact that it's officially in the game instead of just the Creators Club livery is awesome. Right, here comes Hanwell. I do like Hanwell. I've been through here, and yeah, having an old GWR style station. Nowadays it does have the Elizabeth line branding, but yeah. Double 165 formation, noise. So yeah, I do believe we have Southall and Hazen Harlington until we get rid of that 350 in front of us, unfortunately. With, of course, the 350 standing in for the 360, because we don't have that in game yet. Right. Just cut the throttle and coast for a bit, since we do have a single yellow. Actually, add a little bit of brakes. So, yeah, I was going to say HST barrier coach. Yeah, I got somewhat distracted, so... now you can also hand place end of train lamps on the 43s, Mark 3 coaches and the barrier coaches. I do believe you could do that before with the 43 and Mark 3s, but yeah, it's new with the barrier coaches that you can place era-appropriate end of train lamps instead of the older style British Rail ones. There's 6 scenarios. All inspired by real world events, depot open days, that kind of thing, which is pretty cool. Yeah, there's a number of good scenarios. I'm not going to give any spoilers here because, yeah, that'd be not. Yeah, I don't know what I was trying to say there, but yeah, it wouldn't be good of me to do that. Oh. Oh. Come on. Will we come to a full stop? Try and overcome the brakes here. Don't over rev, please. There we go. Didn't stop, and we're on the move. You know, classic rush hour traffic out of Paddington. Annoying, but it is what it is. Shows you how much busier this remastered timetable is in comparison to the old one or the Diesel Legends one. Anyway, there's so yeah, the power cars, the liveried power cars layer anywhere the GWR HST layers, including on Cardiff City Network, Birmingham Cross City, and Edinburgh Glasgow, which is definitely some interesting routes there. There's Southall Depot on the left. Very nice. That's my favourite spot in the entire game. Like, that it's a great asset that's there. Anyway. Right, notch 5. So yeah, and there's some additional services on this line that make use of the barrier coaches. On the barrier coach services are on GWE Remastered 2017 timetable and what is it? And Riviera line. We will be having a look at one of those services on Riviera because it looks quite nice indeed. It's available on Gen 8, Gen 8 and Gen 9 consoles, and Steam and Epic Games, so all platforms. It is available. It's one of the few DLCs that is available to buy on Gen 8 consoles, which is, they're getting less and less stuff, and support's actually getting pulled for them later this year, so I wouldn't be surprised if Train Sim World 7 completely kills Gen 8 console support. Which, to be honest, it should have been killed off ages ago because, yeah, it was Gen 8's console support has lasted for way too long. 66. DB Schenker. One of the notable one of the bug fixes actually affected affected the GB Schenker version. So yeah, there's a number of stuff that's also been fixed. Great Western Express Remastered. There's been a number of bug fixes. Preventive rail singing from triggering when the player is standing next to the consist. Ensures consistent behavior across all rail vehicles that use rail singing. Fixed an issue causing passengers to walk across the tracks between Paddington platforms 9 and 10. Fixed passenger navigation on bridges at Hayes and Hollington and Ealing Broadway, which I can personally attest to the success of that because the passengers going across the overbridge at Ealing Broadway no longer fall off. Let's go DRA, please. It's weird getting overtaken by HSTs while in an HST. Anyway, adjusted speed of aggregate unloaders, allowing the aggregate industry scenario to be completed. Corrected incorrect speed signs at the entrance to North Pole Depot. Let's do that. Notch 4. Fixed areas of snow incorrectly appearing at West Drayton, and various optimizations to distant lighting. For the services on GWE, fixes to ensure services 1 Papa 26 and 1 Papa 41 are now drivable. Fixes to ensure dragline and the Class 66 introductions now function correctly. Fixes to Class 66 scenarios where headlight instructions... Oh, I just lost it. Hang on. Headlight instructions displayed incorrectly and brakes failed to auto-cut-in. Fixed pathing issues causing spans affecting multiple services, including preventing freight services. Fixed a passenger sitting in front of the player in the down-the-line scenario. Fixed various issues with the substitution for the Class 166, and minor changes to reduce memory usage. Okay, so we now don't have any more traffic, so we can finally get up to 90 miles an hour. We have 10 minutes to do 8 miles. This HST is so slow that, yeah, we'll see if we can do that. For the HST, added lighting to the AWS Sunflower, fixed guard panel visibility at night, fixed custom liveries appearing fully white in snowy conditions, fixed custom liveries appearing transparent at times, improved suspension stability, especially on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, tweaked internal running noise for greater difference between minimum and maximum bleed-in, increased external sound bleed with doors are open, increased audibility of Mark III coach low-speed squeaks, try saying that 5 times fast, implemented rail singing optimization to prevent duplicate sound spawning, fixed missing AWS isolation fuse click, and fixed missing VHID audio references to all cab sounds play correctly. There we go. Passing Heathrow Airport Junction. GWR Class 66, corrected wiper direction, added lighting to the AWS Sunflower, updated passenger door interlock indicator logic so the light now illuminates when doors are interlocked, not when unlocked, fixed cab emissive lighting not updating when changing headlights in one cab. So I presume that also works for the 165 as well. For the DB Schenker Class 66, added missing AWS isolation fuse click audio, implemented rail singing optimization to prevent duplicate sound spawning, corrected overly bright cab emissive materials, and fixed mismatched numbering on the DPE Schenker livery. That was something I had noticed, and I'm glad it's finally fixed. There's also some fixes for East Coastway. So for the Class 313, removed incorrect or unused entries appearing in the formation spawn menu. For the Southern Class 171, there's various localization improvements. For the Riviera line, corrected action point scoring in the front beaches to bank scenario. For Diesel Legends of the Great Western, there's now optimized rail singing audio across the Class 101 and Mach 2A coaches. So yeah, that's a pretty extensive list fix, all affecting older remastered routes. And it's nice that it's finally, all of those are finally working as intended. Oh. Got just a bog standard HST at the end. 43195. I see. It's nice to finally have all these special liveries in the game. It just increases the rail scene variation even more. And yeah, it's just awesome to have all these very cool GWR HST liveries. And you will notice that first Great Western there were first Great Western special liveries, but those aren't implemented in this pack, and the reason is licensing, and that's why we had unbranded first Great Western stock in the game, and you have to use a mod for it if you're on PC. Yeah. It's just nice to finally have this pack, because we've known about it for a decent while now, and yeah. Hello. No special liveries on that consist. I have noticed that livery spawns only appear, like the special liveries only appear very infrequently. So we might not see another special one today. And that's obviously because the game has to call on the specific unit number of the HST power car in order for it to appear. Oh, there's a house alarm going off. That's one of the things implemented with it. Well, that was one of the new features implemented with the remaster. Pretty cool, right? It's quite rare that happens, so hopefully that's a good omen for seeing a special power car. We might have already seen one, and I might have missed it. If I did, I do apologize. Nope. Yeah, This has just made Great Western Express and Riviera, like, even higher on the list of my favorite routes in this game, because, my goodness, yeah, they are both very good routes now with a lot of rail variety. Though, my one complaint with Riviera is the lack of a GWR Class 800 and a GWR Class 158. Other than that, both of them are excellent. Like, GWE, I don't have anything to complain about. It's, like, the bestest route that this game has ever done. Especially, yeah, it was mediocre before the remaster, but it went right to the top rankings with this remaster, which is awesome. Oh boy. You will notice that the first Great Western Dynamic Lines livery is no longer appearing. And that is because the mod for it got deleted off of the Train Sim community website. All of the mods made by Leica, the Train Sim community member Leica, are just gone. They just vanished overnight, and I have no idea why. Yeah, I'm just checking all of the HST power consoles just to see if they have a special livery, but no luck so far. All we've seen is that vinyl one at Paddington, and they're rather hard to tell at a distance if it's the metal plate GWR lettering or the vinyl GWR lettering. I don't think... So far I haven't seen any unbranded GWR power cars. Maybe they're just supposed to spawn in free roam, or if you select them.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
Lovely. First stop of the day. And got Maidenhead and Twyford, I believe. Alright, we do have a bit of time to get the stop right, as we are arriving early. Yeah. Now the only bit missing in the rail scene, like the only thing, is a proper class 3, is like not counting the class 360 and D stock being missing, and they're using the 350 and class 484 to substitute in. I could really care less about the lack of the 360 in D stock, because the substitutes that we have are more than fine enough. There goes a 165 on the Windsor and Eaton Central branch. Right, on the brakes, please. 3 yards, decent enough.
This is a Great Western Railway service to Reading. The next station is Maidenhead.
Yeah. Feels weird taking an HST on the slow line, but yeah, there are a few services. Oh, hello. No specials livery so far. One interesting thing is, in the preview images for the HST farewell pack, there was actually in one of the pictures you could see an Elizabeth line class 345 in the preview image, which, as far as I know, isn't implemented in the timetable, and what I can only assume is a layer from the mild made line, because the 720 got repainted in an Elizabeth line livery. So yeah, wonder if that's to represent like some trial services that were done in this period, because due to the lack of overhead wires, they certainly won't be able to go as far as Reading. That's the Windsor and Eaton Central branch. As far as I know, that's the shortest, either that or the Greenford branch is the shortest Thames Valley branch line. That's another thing that I have a problem with on this route. No Thames Valley branch lines to Greenford, Windsor and Eaton Central, Marlow and Henley. But unfortunately, that's just a relic of this route just being absolutely ancient. Because, yeah, the route was built in such a way that future extensions are just completely impossible, which is a major shame, because like getting like an extension to Newbury and Didcot, or even better for beyond Didcot to Swindon or even Oxford, would have been awesome, along with the Thames Valley branch lines, because I would love nothing more than just to head up and down the Thames Valley branch lines all day. Mind you, we do have the Thames Valley I believe we have the Marlow branch in Train Simulator Classic, albeit in the 1950s, so it continues beyond Bourne End to High Wycombe. Yeah, you'll notice I've muted my objective sound because I found it a bit annoying. Next stop, Maidenhead, 5.5 miles. The station
next station is Maidenhead. This is a Great Western Railway service to Reading.
Yeah, so the yeah, Maidenhead's probably my favourite. Not my favourite, but it is probably the station I've definitely been most often through on this line in real life. Anyway, we do have a 75 limit. Well, we have a 50 limit, then a 75. Give it notch 5. There's another HST service. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did I see something? Oh, I'm seeing things. Wait a minute. 093. Wait a minute. That's supposed to be Old Oak Common, I think. Or is it 43193? Hang on, let me look this up. HST Old Oak Common. No, it's HST, not HS2, Google. What number were you? 43093. This is supposed to be Old Oak Common, and yet it's in the bog standard GWR livery. Bug discovered. Bug discovered. What the heck? You deprived me of seeing one of my favorite HSTs in this whole pack. So, this... Why did that happen? Ugh, that's annoying. That is really annoying. Anyway, up to 75 and then up to 90. Yeah, that's really annoying. For some reason, the normal version of 43093 spawned, not the special Old Oak Common liveried version. Awesome. Hopefully that won't occur again. Need to get a thumbnail at some point. Nearly almost forgot. I just haven't recorded this kind of video in so long. Whoa! Flying car! Flying car! Did you see that? Oh. Oh dear. The car wasn't flying, it's just... Oh yeah, if you look at it from underneath, it's like this road asset just doesn't exist. Dearie me. Another scenery bug to fix. But though, to be fair to Liam, that is like the first major bug with the scenery that I've seen so far in the 2 months, well over 2 months that I've been playing this remaster. Has it been that long already since the remaster? That's crazy. No special liveries that time. Just looking at them every single time, and no luck so far. It's 80 miles an hour. We've been going for 2 miles and we're only doing 80 miles an hour. This thing is so... The HSTs are so slow. The IETs are rocket ships by comparison. Say what you will about the IETs, at least they're... Wait a minute. Was that another scenery bug? Hang on. If I get to the end of the platform and then look back, I could have sworn I saw a flower asset floating above the tracks there. Has this new update broken some of the scenery? Because I don't remember that being there. If we have a look, let's have a look. Are they floating? No, they're not floating. They're definitely growing on the tracks, but they're not floating. Yeah, I wonder if this update has broken some of the scenery. I hope not, but it might have done. I believe it just passed Burnham. It's Burnham, Taplow, Maidenhead. Yeah, out of all the lines in Train Sim World, this is probably the one that I am by far the most familiar with. Apart from maybe Preston to Carlisle. I wonder why this bit of over catenary near Taplow was completed while other bits weren't. So weird. I know it's realistic for the time period, but why was that done? So odd. Here is Taplow. Yeah, Taplow. Do love the scenery. I love everything about this line. The fact that Liam was able to bring it up to such a high standard is just amazing for me. Like, honestly, this is a 9.9 out of 10 route for me. Start on the brakes. Initial. We've got 2 minutes to do the 1.5 miles. Fair enough. I think we'll be coming up on the Brunel Bridge in a minute. The brick bridge over the Thames, which is the oldest brick bridge of its kind anywhere, largest brick bridge, I mean, anywhere in the world. It's pretty cool that it's still in very much active use. Let's get a thumbnail, why don't we? Oh yeah. Yeah, why not? Like that. Let's bring in the depth of field just a tad. Just to blur the background a bit. Take that. That's saved. Take another one just in case. Yeah, just look at it. It's beautiful. Oh, can't use that key. It's beautiful. It is so beautiful. The HSTs, I'm going to let you viewers in on a little bit of a secret. The HSTs used to be my least favorite trains in the world because I thought they were ugly. But yeah, they're now by far my favorite British train, especially in the old 125 livery, the Intercity 125 livery. Like, if we could get like an Intercity 125 era route or an Intercity Swallow route, that'd be awesome. Like say a Great Eastern Mainline route in the Network Southeast era, even.
We are now approaching Maidenhead.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
Dude, like how they remind you to mind the gap. But one thing that is missing is the see it, say it, sorted announcements, which, to be fair, I don't know if they were implemented at this time period. Ooh. There's a 165 on platform 5 ready to go on the Marlow branch. Yeah. Let's just come in gently. Hard to believe that I was right. Where was I? They've added the fence in between the two platforms 2 and 3, I mean. Yeah, but I was standing right here waiting for a 387 to come in just a couple of days ago. That is wild. That that is in game. Full service on the brakes. 4-yard stop, I'll take it.
This is a Great Western Railway service to Reading. The next station is Twyford.
So we've got 2 stops, Twyford and Reading left. Oh, looks like Mr. Where are you going? Oh, you're heading to. You're a rare through service to Paddington. Fascinating. In the old, in this time period, some through services went through all the way through from Marlow all the way to Paddington. They don't do that nowadays because, well, it wouldn't be sensible since this whole route is now electrified. But yeah, in this time period, a few services came off the Marlow branch and then on to Paddington. Most of them terminate at Maidenhead, but yeah, I would assume that service is drivable. Right. Let's do an exterior shot, watching the Sir Kenneth Grange pull away. Seven miles to Twyford. Ooh, another HST coming through. Special livery. Wait, why was that one unbranded on the back? I thought... Has this update broken the branding patch that I use? The first Great Western branding patch I use? Maybe. Oh. 165 coming in from Twyford. Notch 5 on the throttle, full speed ahead. So we've got Twyford and Reading left. Still, yeah. Why did the normal version of 43093 spawn? Why didn't Old Oak Common spawn in? That's not good. I just find it really nice to be back doing this style of video, because doing the reviews, I'll let viewers in on another little secret. Doing the TSW reviews stressed me out so much, and they were taking so much time to record and get all the footage for and stuff like that, that I was beginning to wonder if it was affecting my health, like genuinely. So yeah, now that I'm back to this style of video, it's a lot more relaxed and I know what I'm doing. Though my Nidotauban review is still up, and you can go have a look at it. I'm not gonna take it down or anything. Oh, hello, I think I'm getting overtaken. Wait a minute, I'm getting overtaken by a Networker Turbo? This is outrageous. He's only capable of 90 miles an hour. The fact that you have trains that are only capable of 90 miles an hour in a 125 zone where trains are doing 125 is pretty crazy. But though that is the situation for that has gotten considerably better nowadays, thanks to the introduction to 387s, which can do 110, and then the IETs can do 125. We're racing a Networker Turbo. He's not stopping till Reading, of course. I don't believe any fast services stop at any services on the fast line stop at Twyford. But yeah, I wonder if I could get like a better screenshot here with these nice flowers in the background. Is that a nicer background? Yeah, that looks. I think that looks nicer. Let's reduce the depth of field. There we go. There we go. Isn't she a beauty? Please let me know what your favorite livery for in this pack is down in the comments, because my top 3 liveries in this pack are probably 43002 Sir Kenneth Grange, 43185 Great Western in the Intercity Swallow livery, and then 43093 Old Oak Common, which I'm so bitter that that special livery version didn't spawn in. Very annoying. Oh well. Ooh. Shed with HOAs on the back from Cargo Line Volume 2. It's nice how 3 of the cargo lines packs layer onto this line. Cargo line Volume 1 Petroleum, Volume 2 Aggregate, and Volume 4 Military. Which, out of all the cargo... I have all the cargo line packs, and they're all pretty decent. Like, with probably cargo line Volume 5 being my least favourite of the bunch, because there's just so little to do with it. Especially with the direct rail services class 20 that only has, like, what, 4 services in total, with only 2 in daylight? Anyway. We're still racing this network of turbo. 1.8 miles to go. It is nice. With the HST barrier codes, you could technically, like, put on any hook, like, hook or Buckeye coupler units that are compatible. Like, yeah, you could, like, stick some German Dostos on the back of the HST if you really wanted to, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. That network of turbo is going to win, unfortunately. I have to slow down for my stop. Let's get Shriga on the go. Also, viewers, if you've ever heard of a YouTuber called PTG Rail,
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
who makes route learning videos on routes and trains and classic and trains and world. He, after posting videos on Southeastern High, what was then the newly extended Southeastern High Speed in Trains and World 3, he mysteriously vanished and nothing was heard from him for 3 years. Ooh, FKA intermodal train. Now, I am glad to report that he's alright, he's back, and he became a real-life signalman, which is why he just completely disappeared for 3 years. He was training to become a signalman. So, yeah, very good news. I occasionally look at his channel just to see if he would come back. Oh, I didn't realize he had to stop that early. Thought we had to stop at the end of the platform. Ah, that's not good. That's a 41-yard overshoot. Whoops.
This is a Great Western Railway service to Reading. The next station is Reading.
There's the Henley branch heading off to the north there. Whoops. Should have been looking at where I was going. Ugh.
Unattended luggage cause unnecessary
What's the next
security
one?
alerts.
9:21 to Henley. Yeah, there's not... Oh, it just left. That's annoying. Oh, HST. Come on. Special livery, please. Nope. And... No. What? Where are these special liveries, man? Anyway. "30 seconds until we're scheduled to leave." Oh, hello. Hang on. Almost missed it. Let's use photo mode. You're not a special one. And let me guess, you're not a special one either. That's really annoying. Where are these special liveries? That's really, really annoying. Let's get ready to go. Next and final stop, Reading in 5 miles.
station is Reading. This is a Great Western Railway service to Reading.
The HST, you can tell, is not really built for stopping services, which is why I'm really astounded that some HSTs and Mark IIIs ended up on, of all things, the Lagos Metro in Nigeria. Why would HSTs be put there? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I am a fan of the HSTs in the white with red stripe livery that the Lagos Metro of the Lagos Metro, but why did you put HSTs on a metro? They're awful for stop and start services. Their acceleration is atrocious by modern standards. Like, surely the company that the government-owned company that operates the Lagos Metro, surely they could have like shelled out for like a little extra for some, I don't know, like Japanese Metro electric multiple units, or even I don't know, like something like get Siemens or Alstom to make something diesel, like the, I don't know, like something from this, like the Class 197 that Transport for Wales and West Midlands are using. Because, yeah, like, those would have a lot better acceleration than the HST. What probably did happen was that they didn't have the budget for anything else after making this lavish metro. They didn't have the spare money for high quality, fast rolling stock. But anyway, I digress quite a bit. Go look up a picture of the HST on the Lagos Metro, because it's weird, but they also look really stylish in a white with red stripe livery. But yeah, that was a bit of a tangent there. So, yeah, map is still zoomed out. 3 miles to go. It's nice to take the HST on a service that lasts longer than half an hour, because if you're doing an end-to-end run on this line with no stops, that's in the HST, that's like 25 minutes. The HST really does feel like a caged animal, but it's at least not as bad as the TGV duplex on LGV Mediterranee, because that feels even more like a caged animal, since you're going 300 kilometers an hour most of the time. Alright, we have 40 to 30 to 25 in quick succession. Right. Let's cut the throttle. Actually, let's keep notch 2 running. Yeah, so we do have quite a rapid slowdown, but I trust the HST to do a proper rapid stop. Special livery? Nope. And no. For goodness sake. Not to believe I was heading down here on a 387 just two or 3 days ago. It's crazy. One cool train that I did see on that run was, I saw the GWR Class 57 and Mark III sleeper coaches parked at Reading West Depot. Also saw a Southwestern Rail Class 701 Arterio unit coming in from Redhill, I think it was, which is also pretty cool. Like, I've never seen one of them before. Also saw like a Class 450, I believe, in Southwestern colours. And I also, weirdly, I saw a Chiltern Class 68 and Mark V coaches at Didcot. Like, what? That's well out of its home territory.
We are now approaching Reading.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
Please, viewers, do let me know in the comment section why on earth there was a Chiltern Class 68 and Mark V's at Didcot. It was heading from Reading direction up toward Oxford. So Maybe you'd been parked at a late, like, Reading Yard or something? But, yeah, I just don't know. Hang on. Before we arrive, let's see if we can find anything special. So we've got a First Great Western, what are you? 165 coming in there. We've got... Let's increase the depth of field. Just so we can zoom around a bit better. See if we can spot any special liveries. Ooh! Cargo Line Volume 4 military train. Very nice. 43155. Not a special livery. You're not special. For goodness sake, we haven't seen any other special liveries apart from that one vinyl one at Paddington. Let's see. You a special one? You're the... Oh, you're not the unbranded one. I thought you were unbranded one for a minute. What about you? Are you a special one? No, you're not. Of course you're not. Ugh. See, there might be a bit of a problem with the layering. Who knows? Nice to see the KWAs layering in. Also, a lot of people have complained about this, about the about the Mark III, about the GWR Mark IIIs not having sliding doors for services on Riviera. But honestly, why would that be included? This is a livery pack, not an expansion pack. So the livery pack just does what it says on the tin, and I couldn't. Oh my goodness, 21 frames a second around these diesel exhaust fumes. My word. Sometimes I wish I could turn diesel exhaust effects like down while also keeping windshield effects. That'd be very nice. You have a minute and a half to make the stop without being late, so just be extra careful. Yeah, it's annoying how we haven't seen any of the special ones. I was hoping some would spawn for this video, but no, of course they didn't. Right, that's not us. We have to wait until the HST stop marker. Oh, there goes the non-special HST. Ooh, 3-yard stop. Nice. Oh, and I should put the DRA on, since this is technically the end of the line. Well, this is the end of the service. Most 99% of the HST services continue off the map to places like Newbury, Exeter, Cornwall, Oxford, Bristol, Swansea, Cardiff. A few even go to, what is it? Malvern. Right, shut the doors. There we go. Only lost 97.5 points to speeding. And we got a platinum medal despite having an atrocious stop at Twyford. So yeah, that'll be all for this video, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite livery in this pack is down in the comment section. And also, do let me know, why aren't the special liveries appearing all that often? Is it a bug? Is it just me being stupid? Please do let me know, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.